Well, hello again. I'm the Sorceress for saucerecipes.tv, and today I'm making a very luxurious cheese sauce that is wonderful with macaroni or any form of pasta. Also makes a splendid cauliflower cheese, can be served on all sorts of vegetables like broccoli or potato, and would also go very well with fish. So I have my ingredients here. It's going to start off a bit like a regular white sauce and then with cheese added, but I'm also adding the extra luxurious ingredients of egg yolks and cream. Now, of course, you can omit those if you want to make a cheaper or, dare I say it, less fattening version. So what I have here is butter and flour and milk, and that's to make the roux for the basic white sauce that this is founded upon. The white sauce being one of the mother sauces that has many variations. I have egg yolks and cream, I have salt, pepper and nutmeg for seasoning, and a nice quantity of finely grated cheese. Now, just before I go over to the stove to get the white sauce on the go, the first thing I'm going to do is just to mix up the egg yolks with the cream, and I'm beating them here with my whisk just to incorporate them. I'm not trying to make them thick, I'm just trying to make sure that they are properly integrated with each other so that they'll go nicely into the sauce to enrich it. So I'll just get my white sauce on the go and come back in a minute. So here I am at the stove, and I'm going to use my butter and let that melt. And then I'm going to add an equal quantity of flour. I'm not talking measurements here. All the measurements for all the ingredients are on the website, which will be at the bottom of this video. So my butter is melted. I'm going to put in the flour, and as always I'm going to cook the flour out. Flour absorbs its own liquid, about 8 times its own liquid once it's cooked, and of course the fat is what enables it to have contact with the heat so that it can do that. But if you don't cook the flour right down, it will go lumpy when you put your liquid in, so it's very important to facilitate that. This is going to take about 2 minutes of making sure the flour is cooked, so I'll come back when that's done. Now my flour is cooked. I'm going to put in some of the milk and stir it to make sure that it doesn't have lumps, and I'll add a little bit more. I'm using cold milk. If you had warmed the milk you could put it in all at once, but with cold milk it's safer to put it in a little at a time and stir it in gradual installments. So as you see now, the sauce is now beginning to get thick with the flour absorbing all that liquid, and I'm going to add some more at this point. It's very important to keep stirring at this point and not to have the heat on more than the lowest level, because you really don't want this to burn. Now I think I can add the rest, and I'll stir that in. Now, as you see, I've got quite a lot of liquid in this sauce to the roux mixture. That's because this is going to be quite a lot of sauce, and it's going to be thickened very much by the eggs and cream and by the cheese when I put that in at the last minute. So that's the way I want it to be. There's no lumps in that, and what I need to do now is just let this cook for about 10 minutes, and all that flour and milk will integrate and become ready for the next installment. Well, I've been simmering this for about 10 minutes. I've changed to a whisk because I need to keep this on the move all the time. As you see, it's thickening up, and it is effectively becoming a custard. Now at this point I'm going to add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of nutmeg, and I'll just taste that. See the consistency of that? That's good. I'm not adding salt just yet because I want to wait until I've added the cheese, because cheese has an awful lot of salt and you can easily overdo it if you put salt in as well. I'm going to now add the cream and egg mixture. Make sure that's all incorporated. Now what I'm effectively doing here is making a custard. If you were to add sugar and vanilla to that, you would have something that looks very like dessert. But I'm not going to do that. I am making this a savoury dish, and I just want to stir this in for a second or two. And then I'm going to bring over my cheese. I must keep this on the very lowest of heat at this point, because the last thing I want is for the the phone rang just then, so we had a bit of an interruption, but during that time the cheese has incorporated into the sauce, and you can see what a lovely consistency that is. It's still able to be poured, but it's got that lovely thick consistency, and I have tasted it and I can tell you that it is delicious. I didn't need to add any more salt to that. I may add a little bit of pepper at serving time. Now I'm cooking this in advance. I can leave this now with the lid on. The general rule is that if you're serving a sauce like this with pasta, or indeed any sauce, the sauce can wait for the pasta, but the pasta cannot wait for the sauce. You've got to cook the pasta at the last minute and have the sauce ready to be incorporated with the pasta. So I can leave this for about half an hour without any adverse effects on the sauce, just in the saucepan with the lid closed. But if I had to leave it any longer, I would be melting some butter and just making a thin film of butter over the top of the sauce. That prevents the skin from forming, and as you know, milky things can sometimes be quite unpleasant when there's a skin on them. With the butter, that doesn't happen. You just stir the butter in when you warm it up, and it's all ready to serve. So I hope you have fun making that. It's a lovely, versatile sauce, and you can do so many things with it. I'm the Sorceress for saucerecipes.tv. See you next time.